Welcome back to Booze and the Rocks, where we make cocktails for everyone. My name is David Edwards, and today I'm going to make you a watermelon cooler. Let's get into it. Great to have every single one of you back here, my friends. We are making a watermelon cooler. Now, I did find this on Steve the Bartender's channel. It's one of his much earlier videos. In fact, it's one of the first 50 videos, but I will actually put a link down in the description down below so you can go take a look at Steve at his earliest. Now, the first thing we need is a little bit of melon, actually watermelon to be precise. You're gonna grab the smallest knife in your arsenal, cut the watermelon in half, then cut a slice the thickness of your thumb, then cut that slice in half. Use your knife to separate the meat from the rind, and then cube the meat and place it into the glass like so. And then you're going to grab your muddle. And what you're going to do is just muddle gently. You don't need to be very hard. You're just going to break this down so the juice starts to come out and it makes all those slurpy noises. Look at that. Perfect. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your lime. And for this we need 20 milliliters or 2/3 of an ounce. And we're just going to squeeze that in. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a little bit of simple syrup. Now this is a 1-to-1 simple syrup, 1 part water, 1 part sugar, and what you do is just heat it up on the stove just enough till it goes clear, basic science, grade 9, and then take it off and let it sit. As it is a pure sugar, it will sit in the fridge and it's good for a couple of months, but if you have it in there that long, I'd be surprised. Now for this we need 1/4 ounce or 7.5 milliliters. Looking pretty good so far. The next thing you're going to need is your gin of choice. In this case, I'm using Dylan's gin. This is a local gin to me. It's actually made with rye, and it's really, really nice. It's a nice soft gin. We need 1.5 ounces of 45 milliliters. Looks really good so far. Better put the cap on that, because if I don't, I will knock that over. Grab a little bit of ice. And you just want to fill the glass up, slap this on like so, make sure you've got a nice clean line here so you get a good seal, give it a flip, and shake it hard. Smash that off like so. And one of the things you will notice is that the watermelon is very, very gentle and it's a very light flavor, so it will go very, very nicely with this gin. Any gin that you have that's slightly floral will work in your favor for this. Grab your glass of choice. In this case, I'm using myself a nice Collins glass, and I am going to, don't have my tongs, so I'm just going to use my hands and drop a column in. Now, the other thing is watermelon does have a fair amount of pulp to it, so you're going to want to double strain this. It'll also make sure you don't get any seeds in as well. And you want to leave enough space for about 1.5 ounces or 45 mils, because what we're going to do now is grab your soda water of choice. In this case, I'm using Canada Dry, and you're just going to top this up gently. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour beside the column of ice. Look at that. Gorgeous. Smells great. It looks good. We'll just give it a very gentle stir just to sort of incorporate everything. And now we're just going to give this a very, very minor garnish. You don't need to garnish this if you don't want to. Cut a very small piece, give it a very nice little slice, slide it in there like, I did cut it. Slide that in there like so. And you have a beautiful watermelon cooler. It looks pretty. You can just tell by the taste. And you know what? You're gonna make a lot of it. You could actually puree this stuff in your blender if you wanted to batch it to make a whole bunch. Let's give it a smell. Absolutely gorgeous. You get just light hints of watermelon. You don't notice the gin at all. Grab your your straw of choice. We're going to use this massively long one because why not? I'm going to make a whole lot of these. Light, easy, the watermelon just comes through really, really nicely. It sits on top of the gin, and because this gin is not an overpowering gin, it beautifully mixes with the lime juice, a little hint of the simple syrup to bring up that sweetness and blend it all together. This is a perfect summer cocktail. You know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ingredients and the method of how to make this down in the description down below, as well as that link down to Steve's video. If you think we should use something like, say, a vodka instead or a rum instead, tell us what you'd use and why you'd use it, because it would be really, really interesting to see how it changed the flavor. And if this is your first time to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification. That way, every time we put up a new video, you will be notified. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check us out at patreon.com/booze on the rocks, because every little bit helps us to bring these videos to you. You have a great afternoon. There's your drink. Make a watermelon cooler. Now, look, while I was looking for now I found this